Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, July the 1st, 2021, middle of the year. Please say hello so I know who's in the room this morning. Hit the like button to help. That will help Troy's channel. And we will get started. Good morning, Miles. So, first thing out of the gate is crude oil. We have a long that was too early, gone too far before our start time at 9 o'clock. So our first trade is the short at 75.84. We hit target 1. Oops, the data box up. Looks like we have a potential long on the YM coming up. With our start time in just about in a little under 3 minutes. And we pick up a 21 tick target 1 and come back for a 1 tick trailer, 22 ticks in the morning, and one and done for the 9 o'clock mini session. Unleaded, something similar. Too far on the short before our start time, 9 a.m. start. Short at 29.54. Money management 29.37. Target at 29.22 for 32 ticks. And trailer to 29.16. For 38 ticks. So 70 ticks on unleaded this morning. No, not 80 points, not miles, 80 ticks on unleaded. Remember, or I'm sorry, no, that's only a 20 tick bar. Oh, okay. Oh, ZS, yeah. Yeah, we can take a look at that. Yeah, that will be interesting. Wonder what the news was that caused that. All right, markets are open. No trade on the Russell, and we don't get in sync with that one. Pound Aussie on trade today. We had an initial short that didn't trigger in. Came back up, triggered long. And went to target 1 and then came back for a money management stop out, or one pip stop out. But that's a one and done session for pound Aussie this morning on the trade today. Now my chart was a little different. I had a get in sync with this long trade, never triggered in. Then I picked up the short down here and that went and stopped and reversed the long at 21 at the full stop out. So I'm currently in the long as my second trade of the morning. And I'm just watching to see where that goes. Ouch, the YM triggered in and took a full stop. So that is 38 ticks, 76 down on two positions. Crude, unleaded are complete. Let's see. Soybeans seems to be moving around a good bit. Okay. 9:30 start. Too fast on the short. So we come back looking for it. We got a short. Stops and reverse back to long. And the long goes to target 1 and comes back for a stop at 1750. So our target 1 was 11 ticks, including the stop and reverse adjustment. And we lost 1450 to 1750, so we lost 3 points. 12 ticks times 4 positions, that's 48 ticks. We got 11 plus 2, 13. So we're down 35. Now we pick up the short. Definitely should have time to 26.2. Yeah, definitely should have time to get the order in on that. Targets of 9 and 14 already hit on that. Did we make 3? Yes. So we hit target 3. 9, 14, and 20, that's 43. So this is a POQ trade. Positive 7 before the trailer. And the trailer currently at 1375, 1350 now. So that will be a positive session there. 2 and done. Actually 3 and done. And there is our stop. So that was at 1350 from the entry at 1775. So we got 4 1/4 points 17 ticks. Added to the 7 we already had is 24. Gives us a $300 trade, or a $300 session. All right. Hey, Russell just noisy this morning. The YM not doing anything new yet. I know there's not a report for ZS, but I just wonder what brought about that kind of a move. I'm not going to try to follow Russell through that noise. That's going to be a losing session with that kind of price action, giving you stop and reverses back and forth. All right. Yeah, that's not much going on. We can come back to the YM in a few minutes. Big move this morning about 7:30. Let's see, you said at 11 a.m. yesterday. Okay. And big down move there around 8 p.m. yesterday. Pretty active day. And it looks like very active right around noon. $79.25 to a high of $94.75. Yeah, that's only a 15-point move. And what kind of time frame is that in? 12:03. Yeah, that's, well, I don't see an 80-point move, but boy, that minute was just hugely active. I'm still in that minute. Yeah, that's kind of what I saw, Don. So you would actually have stopped and reversed. And Kevin closed the long trade with "we'll wait for the next setup." So I'm not, but he showed the short trade is canceled. So I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, 11 a.m. Central. So yeah, this is what you're talking about. But it certainly didn't hit 80 points. I see a 15-point move, and then maybe a 18-point move down. There's about a minute. So yeah, 18, 20 points, but that's still a big move in a minute. And that was up 15 and down about 18. From 1,300. Now that, oh my God. Yeah, there it is. So right at noon. Just a few. Yeah, from around 1,300 to, and in 3 minutes, you got, and the minute from at 12 o'clock, you did get, yeah, there's 80, and that's 42 seconds in. 82, and we're still just 50 seconds in, and we're 85. Yeah, so we got roughly 1,300 to 1,385 in that minute right at noon Eastern, 11 Central. Yeah, it was actually it was about a 90-point move because it was about 12.95. When it started that, the low was 12.95.50 on that first. Let's see. There's the first 12 o'clock bar. So it started at right at 97, 96.75, dipped down to 95.50, and then just took off. Interesting price action. Then it made another pull back and made another 20-point move at like 11.03. Yeah, no telling what that was, but it's definitely been very active. All right, and the YM picking up a long trade, getting very close to its money management on that trade. Entry at 436, money management 469, and target at 473. 37-point target, so that'll get us a little better than halfway to breaking even. And the Russell with a break even and now a new short, so no telling what that's doing. All right, and the Russell, another money management trade. See if it can push down further from there. YM hasn't hit its money management yet, and we're about 9 minutes from the 10 a.m. crude session. And stopping and reversing to short on the YM. That would be from 32. So that's an 8-tick loss, putting us at minus 84. And the Russell with a target 2. Okay, first trade was, so 1, 2, 3, 4 was money management, and this is 5. It's possible this could get us positive even in all that mess, because we didn't have any big losers. Oh, no, that's right. Hey, excuse me. No 10 a.m. session for crude. We've got no, we don't have a crude oil report today. Got 10 a.m. session for crude. Okay. All right. 5 minutes to 10 a.m. crude session. Pound Aussie still just meandering about. The Russell hitting target 3. Stop to 20 to 16.8. And I would say this is, very possibly going to get us positive. We'll have to run it out and see. Target 4. Selling off now. All right, 14.16 or 14.6 for the stop, and now 13.3. That was a 49 tick target 2. And now 12.6, which was also target 3, which is 66. So this is a 115 tick trade already. And another stop and reverse back to long on the the Russell, or I'm sorry, on the YM. $44.73. And the Russell stopping out finally at 12.1 for 71 ticks. So 120 tick winner on trade number 5. Let's see. Haven't had a chance to see where we are. It might be sufficient. So we go 18.8 to 21.1. So just one tick shy of full stop on that one. That's 23.46, 21.1 to 18.7. That's another 24.48. So 46 and 48, 94. So 18.7 to 21.8. It's 31.62. So we're 154 down. So we're still down 34. And trade number 6 is a loss as well. So as I was saying, when it started off with that noisy price action, it's a losing session. And the YM giving us just as bad, it looks like. Another stop and reverse there. All right. And we are in the 10 a.m. session, and we've gone too far on the short. So we'll wait for the next setup on crude. Pound Aussie going sideways. And another possible stop and reverse on the YM. This is getting to be old fast. Tough morning. And good morning, Roger. Glad you got the audio back on. In the $75 range now on crude. $75 a barrel oil will certainly help the exploration and production industry get back on its feet after COVID. Any other questions? Everything is done except for the pound Aussie, at least on my chart, and the 10 a.m. crude. So as sideways as pound Aussie's going, I'm not going to stick around too long to follow that. And we'll see if we get a move back up on crude. We do have an oversold reading, so we can get a blue long trade with a second up close from here. And well, there's a down close. Actually, this bar, well, no, this bar is going to close below the balance line, so we're not going to get a trade here. Not going to get a trade on this bar, but possibly the bar after this, if we get an up move. Questions, comments, observations? Not much this morning to talk about. Tough session. Russell was back and forth to start with, got one nice winner, but just couldn't get us positive on that one. And then took a loss on its sixth trade. Still not convinced that the 1.5 point momentum bar is that even the Russell is even the market to be trading in right now. And the YM long stop inverse long canceled. We got 2 closes below the balance line. And I don't we don't think we got enough to get a set of exhaustion dots on an up close here. That could be either my bandwidth or yours on YouTube. I've seen that quite often. Troy's screen for me will be blurry because of my bandwidth. I'll switch back to 720p rather than 1080. All right, Russell down with a nice long trade. And still headed down on crude. That's correct, Roger. The soybeans trade plan is on a 1.5 or 1.25 point momentum bar for TradeStation, and that's on Counterpunch. That's a Counterpunch trade plan. That's why the chart looks a little different, and we don't have the spotlight colors on that chart, obviously. That's good to hear, Kenneth. Although I'm not sure I really want you to be trading live in the first week you're in the room. Do take the time to do your back testing and get a good feel for your trade plan and see how it reacts. Jumping in with real money is not necessarily the way to go for the long term. Roger, you can go back and look at let's see, when was it I went over I put up all of the settings in Ninja, which are basically the same as TradeStation, but all the settings for the soybeans trade plan. Don Parker, can you remind me which session that was, so that Roger can go back and look at that one for all the parameters? You'll see it's a 5-tick range bar on NinjaTrader, which is the equivalent of the 1.25 point momentum bar on TradeStation. Oh, I'm not saying you haven't been trading for a while, but spend some time and back test these strategies so that you know that you have confidence in the strategy. Because if you don't have confidence in the strategy, if you come to a point like today's session on the Russell or the YM where you're getting some drawdown, that will make it much harder to stick with it. One of the first items in the training that Troy has on the owner's site includes the 12 steps to successful trading. And it really pays dividends to follow those, even if you've been trading for a while. And not just pay them lip service, but actually go through and really think about some of the questions. Oh, options can be very profitable if done right. You gotta. Troy's putting out videos for the new Catapult Energies launch coming up at the end of this month. Wow, that's significant sell-off, and we've dropped $1 in the last half hour on crude. And soybeans was a strong down move. Unleaded gas, I would expect. Russell's now pushing for session highs with another excellent trade, but that's not one in our trade plan. We've already hit our 6 trade maximum. The key to options, Kenneth, is just like the key to trading futures or Forex for that matter, is you got to have a trade plan that gives you a statistical advantage. I missed the context of your comment, Ari. That's because you don't trade Forex. All right, the crude trade before our start time is stopped out, and there is our 10 a.m. session trade. See if it'll test the 50 and 200 and get us a quick win. Tick target one just underneath the 200 EMA, so that would be a nice one to grab and run. It looks like this may have been a reaction move. We're not actually at even the session low today, though, on crude. Or on unleaded, for that matter. It's been a big up day for crude. Starting at 73.49, dipping 10 cents, but now up at high at 76.22, so up almost $3 on the session. So long-term scheme of things, this is probably just or at least in the long trend, this may be actually just a reaction to the long itself. So we shall see if it tries to push back up and test the session highs again, or at least test the moving averages. So crude, not sure yet what it's going to do. Just kind of going sideways, consolidating the down move. Our YM short in danger of taking a full stop. And the Russell now at session highs. And the YM in positive territory, but not by far. 377 for the low and 551 for the high, so it's a little under 200 points for the range today in today's session, starting at 5 p.m. yesterday, actually 4 p.m. Central. Crude's, they're stepping down toward the session low. Lower highs, setting lower highs, but still trending slightly downward. Now we're getting another up move. Solid bounce off of the being rejected at the prior swing, looks like. We're slightly above that. Getting all the way back up to our entry again. Not sure where it's going, just going sideways. And the YM still surviving in the short. Hello, paint. Crude going sideways, the YM going sideways, and the pound Aussie going sideways. A rather lackluster morning at the moment. And the YM now starting to move downward a little bit, testing the 50 EMA. Crude approaching entry point again for a third time. And pushing up above the entry again. Pull that back so we can see where the target is. Target's up here at 75.36. May have a bit of struggle getting up through the EMAs. That is yet to be seen. Pound Aussie still going sideways. And the YM back down to our entry point. Looks like we got as high as 75.29 on crude. Rejected in the no man's land between the 50 and 200. See if we can get another push upward, dropping below the entry again. Now the question on crude is, will the 20 EMA hold, or the 20 SMA hold and continue the move up to test the 50 and 200 again, or will we come back down, or just continue to go sideways? And a stop and reverse short. 75.07, it looks like, or yeah. That bounced through in a little too fast to grab, so I would say make it a get in sync stop and reverse. Stop and reverse adjustment takes it down a bit below the couple of ticks below the 20, which is a good place to have it. We did spike through and hit it, but that was just a little too fast to get the order in. I wasn't able to get mine in. So there is our stop and reverse entry. We'd have gotten that one either way. That would have been a 200 EMA trade if it wasn't a pink overbought trade. We got this little bitty, right on that bar there, in the histogram, we have a positive 0.2 reading on the overbought. So that's what set up the short trade. As I say, it would have been a short trade anyway because of the proximity to the 200 EMA for the beginning of that, for the exhaustion dots. So it would have been a magenta trade anyway. And that would have been with the 50 EMA after the crossover, but we could take either long or short because we are beyond the 8-bar crossover filter. Notice the magenta bar right there. I'm getting the cursor to stay on it. Crude still going sideways. As is the pound Aussie. Will we get up through the 50 this time and stay there, and seriously test the 200? That's a question. That's the question at the moment. It would appear that Kevin is continuing to call trades on trade a day. We're currently in the stand down from 10:20 to 11 a.m. And it looks like crude rejected at 50 again. Testing the 20 on the low side. Sideways action. YM looking to test the 200. Several long-wicked down bars there. On the YM, still not moving significantly toward our money management level. Crude testing the 50 EMA again. Will it have the energy this time? Wait and see. And back down to the 20 again. And there's the stop and reverse. Now into the short. Money management at 74.95. Targets at 93. And 84. Okay, crude still basically moving sideways. Rejected twice now off the 50 EMA, so we'll have to see if we can get down to money management. And finally got a good solid close below the 20, but came back up to test it again. And now heading up toward the 50 again. Sideways, sideways, sideways. That may be true, Roger. Now, of course, we still got tomorrow. But yeah, a bunch of people probably will be taking off tomorrow. So probably be a fairly light volume, which can produce some very, very good trading. And another rejection at the 50 EMA for crude. And pound Aussie stuck at its 200. Question is, can we break through that 75.05 level now on crude? And ultimately through the $75 level to get down to money management 74.95. I do want to remind everybody the room will be dark on Monday for the 4th of July holiday. And I will be back with my regular session next Tuesday. Because of the Monday holiday, the crude inventory report will be at 11 a.m. on Thursday rather than 10:30 on Wednesday. Looks like we did finally get an excursion through the 75.05 level. Now see if we can break through $75, and we're at $75. Let's see if we can push below it. And the answer seems to be no. And the 50 and 200 coming down and the 20 going up. We'll have to see if that trend continues. Will the 50 hold again, or will it be breached this time? And the answer is it's going to hold this time, or at least on that bar. At some point, it will break one way or the other. But I don't know what that point will be. And the YM broke through our entry point and the session open level and then has bounced back up above the 50. And we'll take it to about 11 o'clock and see where, if things are still going sideways, I'll call it a morning at that point, I think. And let you all get going with your whatever weekend plans you have. Sideways, sideways, sideways. Pound Aussie sideways again, back into the down to the 50 again. More sideways there. Crude back down to its entry point again. And the YM seems to be trying to push through. It's cleared the 50 and now trying to push through the 20 on the upside. And the YM coming back to entry. Crude testing the 20 SMA again. And the Pound Aussie looking like it might be breaking through the 200 here. That's the first close we've had above the 50 on crude. Pound Aussie looks like one tick, and there is money management. So Pound Aussie is the first one to break out. And there is target one. On the Pound Aussie. That is a 16 tick, 17 pip target. So entry again for crude and for the YM. Pound Aussie very slightly peaking above its session open level. Stop currently at 84.19 on my. That's of course my chart. That's not trade today. Trade today about to start its 11 a.m. session. No, he's back now. It's 11 o'clock. He gave the heads up a couple of minutes ago for the 11 a.m. session. He just hasn't got a setup to post at this point. Because his long at that point was actually a bar earlier than mine and was the trade that got a target 1 and came back for a break-even stop on the remainder, 1 pip. So we got a bit of a bounce off the 200, but coming back down to test it on the Pound Aussie again. And the Pound Aussie stopping out on my chart, so flat there. Not positive yet. And crude breaking through the $75 mark. Well, let's see if it holds now. It's just 70. It's still right there at $75. 98. And money management. Stop comes down to 75.06. So our patience is rewarded. And target 1. Okay, we were in at 16. To 07. That's a loss of 9 ticks. And stopping out after target 1. Target 1 was 14 ticks after the stop and reverse adjustment. And 1 for trailer is 15. We're down 18, so we're down 3 ticks. We can take one more trade, but it's already 11 o'clock, so we're into the 11 o'clock session, and we're possibly going to get a long trade here. But Pound Aussie and Crude have stopped out, completed their trades. The YM is heading up toward its stop again. Double bottom down toward the 200, so there's a fairly good chance that this may go and stop out. We will see what it does. Well, it was stopped out already at break even because it did hit target 1, so you should have a positive result on that trade. So too with Crude. Although that mini session was 3 ticks negative on the session. Crude with a short trade on the 11 o'clock session. 74.94. Money management at 84, target at 82, and there is the trigger. It just triggered, the short just triggered in on the 11 a.m. crude session. And I would adjust the crude stop up above the 50. I'd make it 75.13. All right, folks. Possible long on the pound Aussie, but it's time to call it a morning. I will see everybody on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Those of you in the U.S., enjoy the holiday weekend. And I will see you back on Tuesday. Thank you, Miles.